boom, boom, boom. Bang, 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 bang. Boom, 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 boom. How, 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 how. Hey, hey. You gotta come on.
For this segment of Let's Learn Things, I recently, actually last night, I went over and was the cameraman for What's Neat This Week for the June issue. And we all know about the fire. We all know about Patterson's disaster that happened over there. And he's in the process of rebuilding his entire layout. And I was there to film a segment that was filmed all at one time. And he introduces the idea of one segment of it was prepping your room to build your layout. I don't have a camera, and I'm not going to go over there and film his basement. Okay? He thinks it's not that bad. Hey, whatever you think, dude. Okay? I know all about opinions. Okay? From an English teacher, which I am, you're allowed to have your opinion. That is not a statement. That's half a statement. Interpretation, not if you're using real English. Interpretation is you can have an opinion if you can back it up with facts and figures. Okay? If you're talking out your ass, or you're just blowing smoke trying to make yourself look good, people can see that and they know that. Okay? So, I don't have opinions. I base everything I do on logic and deductive reasoning. Over there, it's bad. I would even say that if you could make monetary donations to the What's Neat program, and specifically him, that would be a tremendous help. Okay? I'm not begging or anything like that. I'm just saying anything would help at this point. Even an email or a Facebook post or something, saying, hey, we're with you. Our prayers are with you and all. Because the entire layout in that basement is cluttered beyond clutterization. And for a person who wants to do everything themselves, this is okay for them, but this is going to take a while. We have 2 segments on this show, and the first one is the Arnold Eagles Lodge. It is after the storm, and it is on May 23rd. So that's the podcast that you're going to see about that show. All the shows are acting exactly the same. We actually wanted to open this show and run it from 9 to 2. I say we because I'm part of the crew putting it together, setting up tables and chairs and stuff like that. What you need to know about this segment is that it was the clusterfuck of the morning is what this was. People were supposed to be there. A person was supposed to be there, and they were not. Glenda had to go all the way through the building and open the door on Friday afternoon about 3 o'clock, and we proceeded to set tables and chairs, which there were more tables and more chairs set up than normal, so it took a little longer. We got set up. We were supposed to be let in at 7. again, you will see on the podcast how dark it was back there. They have no lights on. They have nothing on whatsoever. And the person was supposed to be there at 7, and I believe it was 7:30 or 25 till before we got in. It was a very bad morning for myself. I've been having health problems, and I only had an hour and a half of sleep. And if you can imagine doing a show and then going out to eat afterwards, when I returned and finally got home at 6 o'clock, by 6:30, I was sick, tired, and just passed out completely. And I didn't wake up for 4.5 hours. So it was bad. So enjoy the first show. The second part is going to be a prevention video that I'm actually just about to shoot. But it is a fire prevention one, and what it is designed to do is I'm going to tell you exactly what happened to cause that fire. I've been told not to talk bad about people's equipment, okay? And I completely understand that. However, if you're going to pay $650 for a piece of HO scale steam locomotive, I think you should be, what would be the word? Sure that it will never catch on fire, no matter what. Know that it is a high quality piece of equipment when it is not. So that segment is going to follow the Arnold Eagles podcast. So, okay, let's get to it. All right. Yeah, it's that time again. Dirk's Trains is here. We're always early. Hey, you remember that spot, don't you? Yep, there it is, the Arnold Eagles Club. And this is after the storm. And this is the only train show in May. We didn't have anything in May. They turned around and said, well, let's have a show. And called over and got it. And now we've got a train show in May. We're going to be here tomorrow from, I think we're even down to different hours now. I think we start at 9. And, but this is just going to be, this is one of the best, if not the best show in St. Louis right now. We're at Arnold, Missouri. And that's the Arnold exit. Come up to Jeffco, come down Jeffco. And tomorrow when you come down, as you come to the entrance, you go, well, where is this place? Well, there's going to be two giant 4x4 yellow with black letter signs that says train show and an arrow pointing to where you're going. One sign will be on one side, one sign will be on the other side, and you can't miss those. Okay, we even had a guy one time, he took a picture of the one at Dupo and said, don't you wish everybody did this? Instead of those little bitty signs on the side of the road that you go, what? Whoa, can't see it, it's too small. Well, you don't miss mine. I even put mine on the highway, but not this highway. I did put it on the highway when we were at Fox District, but that show only went about 5 years, and that was it. So we're going to get inside here. We get to set up early because at 3 o'clock, we're going to open the door and we're going to proceed to set the tables and chairs and get everything ready for tomorrow. And then people who do that can bring their stuff in and set it up so you're not either in the rain in the morning or that you're completely soaking wet by the time the show starts. So Pre-plan, prevention, that's what it's about. So let's see what happens here. Oh, and by the way, this is Larry Horn Hill. That's what we named it, Larry Horn Hill. This is where he puts his vehicle, and when it rains, it slides all the way down into that hole and into the woods. And now he's got this red thing. He doesn't even have a truck anymore. Ha 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 ha! Now it's reading right. Nope. There's no light. Which is interesting because, you know, they know that they're going to have a show, and why would they not turn there's spotlight. The screen flipped off and I have no idea what happened. Anyway, so we are here. We're going to wait, I guess I need to pull up some here, don't I? So we're going to be here until the people with the keys get here. It is, what is it? Please tell me I didn't leave my phone at home. I left my phone at home. I didn't pick it up off the floor. I can't take charges. Son of a bitch. Okay, so what I had to do was go all the way back home and get the phone because I had forgot it, and you gotta have it if you want to take charge. So I had to go all the way home and get it and come back. So we're still waiting here. It's now 6:31. A couple of people are here beside me, but no one of importance to open doors. So it's setup time. Good sign. 10 to 12. Part 2! Okay. We all know about the fire. We all know about Patterson's disaster. And from that day, it hit the model railroad world like a hurricane and a tornado all combined. And I've never seen so many videos. Some were ruthless and some were compassionate. And then there was everything in between. There was a lot of fire prevention videos, which is kind of what this is, but this is also an informational video for people to understand. I have not gotten the information from the insurance agency. Oh boy. Okay, so we all know what's going on. People are not acting like they should. They're all messed up. If you're a religious individual, you know about the last chapter and the last paragraph of what they're going to act like. In my field of professional counseling, we have something that's called your ego, your arrogance, and your self-centeredness. And it's all about you. You're back to being a baby. Okay? You're back to being up to about 5 years old or 6. And even then, I have children who enter the school system, and by the time they're in 6th grade, they're still in that situation. When you do something like this, really bad things can happen. Okay? I've seen the videos. Everything is prevention, and everything from never leave your trains to never buy a piece of equipment that you're not completely 100% sure of, and you don't know how to do that anyway. But it is a situation to where you have what is called a domino effect. We put it all together. I put it all together. In his video, when he talks about friends have come over and seen the video and gone through the video and all, he was actually talking about me. Okay? I went over it, I saw it, and it scared the hell out of me. So much so that I came home, and I'm doing what he's doing right now, and I thought that I would rebuild my entire layout and get rid of the foam. And upon looking at my layout and looking what would need to be done, you'd be looking at a 1 to 2 year process of trying to get this completed, not to mention what the wood would cost. Okay? And so I looked around the room and I looked at what was going on, and after I got over my panic attack, I realized that no, rebuilding the whole layout is not the answer. The answer is fire prevention. What do we do to make sure that this foam that we have doesn't get the chance to catch on fire? Remember that I went on the phone for 40 minutes with Allstate Insurance Company, proceeded to talk to 4 Indians, finally got an American, neither of which, and she was extremely helpful. She was really looking and whatever, I'll say that with these, and then finally she came back on and said, you have to contact an insurance agent to tell you if you need extra insurance or something has to be done because you have this highly flammable material in your home. That was like, what, a day ago? I have not been able to call. You have to call, make an appointment or whatever. They didn't know where the agent was. She found out the agent. So I have to go to the agent's place and ask my question there. I can't wait. I wish I could bring a camera with me, and I can't wait to see what that answer is going to be. But as I said, all the model railroaders, and I've seen a video on this, of how much flammable material we have on these layouts. The question becomes, well, if your house burns down because of your train layout, and they find out that you have flammable material, aka foam, and that was never asked or mentioned, do they just say you're not covered? How about insurance that won't pay for your layout? Well, it's not going to pay for your layout because your layout's not on a rider. These are little things that you find out after the disaster. Okay? So fire prevention. A Shinohara switch, which in fact was locked down with a caboose hobby throw, but for some reason wasn't thrown. Now, I didn't understand that, still don't understand that, because a switch has this, or this, or this. That's all a switch does. So I guess it needed to go straight, and then if it goes to a side of whatever, that particular, or maybe whatever steam engine is not going to go through there. I don't know. Did it get thrown? It didn't get thrown. It wasn't really locked in place. Nobody will ever know any of these answers because it all burnt up. It incinerated. The Broadway Limited beginning engine of turbine is running along, and keep in mind that this thing has ran across that layout by itself for however long that it was issued. Okay? Basically sent to him. Nothing's ever happened. This time it hits the switch, the tender, and does what we call pick the switch, and up and over and sits down on it and starts to shart out. The Digitrax system, which was pulled from Train World's shelves and not ever sold again. Now, I don't have any way to back that up. I have no idea if that's right or not. But that's what I was told by a Train World person. But through another person. So these systems don't have a circuit breaker in it. Now the one he has now does, but this didn't have a circuit breaker, so it just kept resetting, and throughout the video you can hear it do that. That's that little beep it makes. So that kept throwing power into the layout. At that point in time, the tender, which includes every piece of electronic equipment, this thing's got DCC, sound, and smoke. Okay? Directional lighting, all that good stuff you get with a DCC whatever. Model manufacturers, and we saw this back in the 70s with a company called MPC. It was the worst plastic that you have ever seen in your life. If it got warm, it warped. Not hot. If it got warm. If you tried to glue it with certain glues, it would not work. Model manufacturers make things out of the cheapest material that they possibly can because they've never been held responsible for anything. And then when American companies shipped everything to China, China is a mass production company. Okay? they don't have any quality control whatsoever because they figure you've already done that. But while they're manufacturing and running on the line, there's still no quality control. So you can release 1,000, put these things together, 1,000 of them, and they're no good, but you're still going to get them. The tender begins to heat up. I worked at Radio Shack in 1985. We still had receivers with tubes in them. I still remember tubes. So finally we got transistors in them, but these things would heat up so heavily that you needed a heat sink to get rid of the heat, which is like what our tunnel motors do. Okay, suck in the air and blow the air out, the hot air from all that heat, roll it out the top. So here we are, the tender is heating up, heating up, heating up, and that plastic is the cheapest plastic you can get. It's also thin. Okay? So as this reaches the temperature to melt plastic, it begins to melt, which then passes that point and catches on fire, and in the video you can see the little bit of flame coming off the tender, which is now on fire. As the fire goes across the plastic, it gets into the steam engine itself and starts to burn that back end part. Now the whole thing is on fire. Well, that fire is now going down, and there's foam underneath here, but all that foam is sealed with our Woodland Scenic cement and all that. That's supposed to be, it is rock hard. It's the best you can get. But it does have its limits, and all of a sudden the fire burns through that. And once it hit the foam, there was your accelerant. And now, in a 22-minute span of time, there are 6-foot flames coming off the layout, burning everything. So there's no way to prove that the tender did this, that the steam engine did this, or anything. Okay? Digitrax is way over there, so it's not going to get hurt. But we have 6-foot flames coming up, and now it's licking the rafters. It's already burnt through the drop ceiling because they weren't asbestos. It burnt through, went up there, and has now got the joist so on fire that it's going what is called alligator. It looks like an alligator skin, all black, burning. That's when he found it. He puts it out. He throws everything outside. The fire is overly destructive. But one thing that nobody saw, and it is on the June What's Neat, is foam puts off a toxic black smoke. Smoke goes everywhere. It went upstairs. That black stuff went upstairs, and it went all over the basement, which included all of the trains that were on that back shelf. And I got to see all of the trains last night because all the shelves have been taken out, which has to do with the June What's Neat. And you can see that these trains, you're talking weeks of cleaning to get these things back to where they are, or where they're supposed to be. So he got it out. Well, that's the fire prevention part of this. We have the kitty fire extinguisher down by the washing machine, just in case. We don't know if it does have a lifespan or not. His were 4 years old. He had 2 of them, and was hoping that when he pulled the trigger that it would come out. That white stuff goes everywhere also. It's sulfur. That's what it tastes like. And so when you have your layouts, the first thing you have to do is, if you have any of the old Digitrax systems running your system, you're an idiot if you don't replace that. You need the one. It's a 240. It's not cheap, but it's got a circuit breaker in it. There are circuit breaker types that you can put in line, but you have to be an electrician in order to do that. Okay? So that needs to go. Now the NCE brand's already got that in there. You get a short, it turns off. You got to go through reset. Okay? You've got these layouts with all this foam and stuff. There should be no electricity going into your layout from the wall. So from that wall, the best way to do that is a power bar, and you're done running trains for the day, you come over and click and off. There's no power going into that layout anywhere. You have to turn that back on in order to get power going in your layout. That includes the lights that are underneath and wherever you have them. There's nothing going in there. That's a good first step. Second is that if a fire were to occur, you're there. You do not leave your trains run by themselves. I experienced this at Dupo when I had the shop in Dupo. I began to smell melting rubber. Oh my, what the hell is that? And I got up and walked out to the layout, and my Proto 2000 E8 that I just had finished had the perfect blinking light on top of it. Had gone across, picked a switch, started on the switch, and everything was heating up. Now, I was out there within minutes, probably within seconds, okay, to find out what the hell is going on. Smells like burning rubber. Went out, yep, everything is there's no flame, it's melting. Picked it up off of there, looked, the entire front truck was destroyed and melted, and all the electronics, including that beautiful switch, that beautiful light going on and off, it's gone. You don't leave your trains running by themselves. That sounds logical, but if you have to go take a shit, you turn everything off. You don't wait till the last minute. And that on-off switch is where you can get to it. That comes from the wall. You get to it in a hurry. I gotta poop. Well, you go over and click that thing off, and you go. And then you come back. You never leave your trains run by themselves. If a fire does get started, how many of you have fire extinguishers near where you can grab quickly? Not in the other room. This is in the layout. In an oval, you have one on each end. Okay? You make sure that these things are always charged. If they get too old, you got to replace them. That is your main prevention. The fire extinguisher will save you. But prevention, not to get to that point, is that power plug over there. Click, it's off. I have that on my layout. I came home, redid my entire power area, and put that in there. There is no power going in this layout whatsoever until I push that switch and get electricity back into this. Remember, your NCEs and your Digitrax and some of this other stuff is powered by batteries. So make sure you have a, which is easy at Sam's, and you get even Walmart, a pack of batteries that you have and you're ready to go. Prevention is the key. Okay? That's what you want to do. with that, that's going to wrap up this segment of Let's Learn Things, the Arnold Show, and don't become a Patterson. Okay? So, no, I didn't talk bad about other equipment. I just stated the fact that no, there's no quality control. And there never will be. You have to be the preventer for that. That'll do it for Let's Learn Things on this video podcast. We'll see you next time.
Ready, set, go.